I like to start on time, like some teachers, they would have you wait, like Trumper, for example. He might have you wait 2 or 3 hours before you turn up, you know. But I'm not like that. I'm definitely not like Trumper. In case you don't know, Trump is what's that for? He's quite famous, infamous, and famous. But I like to start on time, just in case, just so you know. Okay. So basically, when we talk about practicing meditation, I thought I'd clarify that a little bit, and that is, there's two things you could be practicing while you're sitting here. One of them is being present, and the other thing you could be practicing is being distracted. So I'll explain being present in a minute or two, but I'd like to spend a little while looking at what's meant by being distracted in meditation. So basically, when you're distracted in meditation, you're lost in your thoughts. You're not even conscious that you're that you're sitting in a room. You're just lost, right? And that's actually our habit, Our habit. I think you might have noticed this. Where did I leave my keys? That's our habit is actually to be distracted, and to be present. That is something that has to be practiced. That's something that has to be. You have to familiarize yourself with being present. So when we talk about distraction, it's it's really not what arises in your mind, It's our reaction. So if you're sitting here, right, and a dog comes to the window or the door, right, that's not a distraction. It's our reaction. When the dog is there, you're here, you're here, the dog is there. What is the reaction? Well, the reactions, there's two levels that I'd like to just point out about reactions. The first one is coarse reaction. Coarse reaction is, oh my God, who let the dog out? They're pretty obvious. Those kind of reactions are pretty obvious. They're usually accompanied by emotion, So, but then there's subtle reaction, and this is the one that that meditators need to know about. What is a subtle reaction? Subtle reaction is, what is this? So like you're sitting there, something arises in your mind, and you try and, what is this? Where does it fit in, This is the start of distraction. That's the subtle reaction. And it's this subtle reaction that's actually pulling you away. But it's actually, all you're experiencing is empty appearance. Right? Things come and things go. That's all you're experiencing, So, you allow everything, because they're not the problem. It's your reaction that's the problem. You allow everything. You don't block. You don't embellish what's arising. Actually, you train yourself in doing absolutely nothing. And this is the secret point. In any event, you cannot change the rising itself. You cannot change it. Whatever comes into your mind, you cannot change it. This is, if you get this, you cannot change this rising. It's arisen, and it will dissolve. But you cannot change it. You cannot corrupt it in any way. You cannot do anything to it. This, you might need to think, reflect on this. It's a very, very important point. It's just as it is. It appears and it disappears. It might be true appearance, it might be a false appearance. It actually doesn't matter. Right? You don't need to classify it. It's just as it is. Now, that's distraction. What is presence? Presence is simply allowing everything to be just as it is. That is the essence of meditation. Just allowing everything to be as it is. Just leave it alone. So, we're going to sit now for a little while. First of all, check your mind. Just look at your mind. What's it like? Is it very busy? Is it on a shopping trip already? Now, what do you do next? Just feel your breath. Leave your mouth slightly open. You feel your breath. 1, 2, drop, release. Lose all reference points. This is a lot easier than trying to fix things, particularly when they can't be fixed. Just risings. Remember to leave your mouth slightly open. It really helps. So it's very interesting, as you train, as you become familiar with this kind of being without reference point, as you become more familiar with that, there's a natural wisdom comes, like an intelligence, an ability to see things clearly. You're probably feeling that now. That's your natural state. All the worry could be like this. If only. That's the unnatural state. Okay. We might revisit this slightly on a Wednesday because I'm mad keen to find out if you got the point about the rising, that you can't change the rising. I'm mad keen to find out. Um, I did notice the way you were sitting, and the Dalai Lama would have been impressed. quite. You know it yourself. You know it yourself.
I'd love to revisit it on a Wednesday because it's so connected with our experience and what we're trying to work with in terms of the applying the teachings is with our own experience.
Exactly.
So,
okay, so I'm going to natter on for a bit about Nundro and anything else you want me to natter on about.